what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today, I'm going to basically talk about what I have have been saying for a while now. Because we all know, despite LA Knight, being back from his kayfabed injury that they did on the storyline or whatever, he's been announced to being going up against Seth Rollins at Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, I don't think we should all be getting excited for this. You want to know why I think we shouldn't be getting excited for this? Because, let's face it, they're not going to have LA Knight win. They're going to have Seth win. They're going to have some bullshit, screwy type shit going on. You know they're going to do this. They've done it 3 straight pay-per-views. 3 straight pay-per-views. We have seen LA Knight lose at WrestleMania. We've seen him lose at Backlash. He ate the pin in that. And then we see him losing goddamn Money in the Bank. And now we have him going up against Seth freaking Rollins, right? Who just cost my boy CM Punk the championship again. Okay? So, they're going to screw LA Knight again. It's just bullshit off the top of bullshit. And it is basically, like I said already, that LA Knight is Braun Strowman of this era. And what I mean by that is LA Knight is massively over. He sells merch astronomically. He gets cheered all the time, just like Braun Strowman did back in 2016. Okay? We all asked for Braun Strowman to be world champion for several fucking years. Okay? And they kept passing him over for Roman because Vince McMahon had a high horse for Roman. And still to this day, it is one of the biggest missteps in wrestling history. One of the big missteps. Because Braun Strowman should have been the world champion during that period. Roman was being jammed down people's throats because he was doing that whole babyface thing that everybody hated. Okay? Everybody wanted to see Braun Strowman be the champion. And still to this day, I still to this day, it baffles my mind how he never won the championship during the period. Yeah, I'm not counting the COVID title reign because he only won that because Roman Reigns decided not to be there for the first few months during COVID. Okay, that's why he got it. Okay, so Braun Strowman won like almost every accolade except for winning the world title. Okay, during that time period, and yet Vince McMahon still refused to put the title on him. It still baffles my mind because under Vince McMahon's criteria for a star, okay, Braun had the look, he had the muscles, he had the fucking goddamn built, okay, which is what Vince McMahon looks for in a wrestler, okay, and he had the crowd on his side. In a world and an age when wrestlers, come and go with fan appreciation, Braun was over. And yet, he still got treated like shit in booking because of Vince McMahon. Okay? Because Vince McMahon was just so fixated on Roman Reigns. He was fixated, giving him freaking 7 main events? Okay? Or how many main events he got before he went to the tribal chief thing? Okay? I'm talking about the main events he got before he became the tribal chief. Okay? Because that's why... Look, I don't care. I think, I'll say it, Roman Reigns is overrated. Roman Reigns, half of his career was being jammed down our throats when he didn't deserve to be the guy. Okay? It wasn't until the tribal chief thing when he came back from COVID where, Roman actually got to do something good. But then, of course, he went to the whole part-time thing, and and then everybody lost interest in it. And it wasn't until Sammy got involved and all the other stuff where people started being interested in that whole thing again. But people just didn't care. I say this is the thing. Roman Reigns' whole career has been just a whatever type career, because it's like, yeah, he had the long ass title reign, but nobody cared about it, and he didn't defend it that much. And before that, he was jammed down people's throats, and nobody cared. So Roman, like, I don't know. I don't honestly. The people that do like Roman, I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I just think Roman had the most overrated career in the history. Well, in terms of evaluating him right now, compared to him and Cena. I mean, even though I don't like John Cena for obvious reasons, for the other reasons that we've mentioned on this channel before, but when it comes to Roman, it's like, it's just, I really would have wished to have seen Roman be booked properly in the beginning. Then maybe everybody's perspective on Roman would be different if he was booked, if he was booked like the way he was booked in the, post-COVID, if he had been booked then compared to, in the beginning, compared to, the COVID era, maybe most people's perspectives would be different. But for me, I can never say he's one of the greats, because, I mean, he's had two really lackluster, pushes, one being jammed down her throat, the other being overexposed, where it just looks like nobody can do anything to him. But getting back to the topic of this video, and that being LA Knight, and Braun Strowman, it's really the same thing. Braun Strowman, massively over. LA Knight, massively over, but nowhere near the world title picture. Now, again, I don't know exactly what I can say in terms of why LA Knight isn't the world champion right now, besides, I guess we could say, his age, which I think is such a bullshit argument, because Jey Uso's 39. He's 39, and LA Knight is 41. So they're only 2 years apart. Oh, well, because he's not actually 40 yet, that makes a difference. He's 1 year away from being 40. Okay? Or actually, it might be coming up soon, depending on when his birthday is. But you're getting the point. Like, I don't fucking understand why the fuck that matters. Like, it's just so stupid. But anyways, I don't get it. I don't know what Triple H looks for in a star, because it's still too early to figure out what Triple H looks in for a star. But seeing what we see with Braun and LA Knight, I mean, it's really the same. They both got over generically by themselves, and yet they're the ones that are not getting pushed. Braun Strowman, I know in the contents of today, people's perspectives are different, but when Braun Strowman was over in 2016, all right, he got over on his own. He got over on his own. He wasn't someone that was on anybody's radar, when he was in WWE. I mean, he was just considered another big guy for the Wyatts originally. But LA Knight obviously had a different upbringing for wrestling. He was in the Indies. He was in TNA, NWA, before going to WWE. But it's still a very similar situation in the contents of them getting the WWE and generically getting over on their own, and yet still not being awarded the title. Okay, not getting that title push, that big title push. Okay. And it's the thing that I have been hating for WWE for decades now. And one of the things I can say and I can appreciate for the Attitude Era is that when I was 8 years old, okay, watching the Attitude Era, I could see a guy, a nobody, generically get over and become a star. That being Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay? Now, we don't see that from these guys anymore. It's always, oh, we want the Machine to be the guy that they push over the guys that the fans actually want. We've seen this with Daniel Bryan. Luckily, Daniel Bryan was able to still manage to get what he deserved, but you get the point. We've seen Daniel Bryan, and we've seen it happen with Daniel Bryan. We've seen it happen with Braun Strowman, and now we're seeing it with LA Knight. And I said a year ago this. I called this a year ago, and everyone said, oh, just wait. You know, you gotta wait your turn and all that bullshit. Okay? That, you know, he has to... No. LA Knight didn't have a turn. That's what people don't seem to understand. This man, LA Knight, Eli Drake, when he was in NWA and TNA, okay? This guy didn't have the spot, okay? He took it. LA Knight took the spot. This is what casual people don't understand. He took the spot, all right? LA Knight, this man was literally working on the video game and making motion capture entrances for other wrestlers like in 2016, 2017. That's not false. That is factually true. This guy was doing motion caption for other people's entrances in some of the old wrestling video games. This guy didn't have a spot. He fucking took it. That is what makes LA Knight LA Knight. He came in. He didn't care who was there. He made the spot for himself. That's what people are not understanding. He took the spot, okay? It wasn't promised to him. He took it and made it his spot. He made it so that they would put him on there. And still he gets disrespected in storylines, okay? Because they are forced to put him in something because the fans want to see him, okay? The Machine doesn't want it. I'm telling you. No matter all the stuff he gets, the Slim Jim stuff, which again, I told you guys a year ago that they were diminishing his Slim Jim appearance the moment they put Jey Uso in that with him. I said that, and people try to say that, oh, that wasn't the case, and look where we are now. When was the last time LA Knight was sponsored by Slim Jim in a match? Like the match, you know how they do those matches where they're sponsored by Slim Jim, where a match is sponsored by Slim. When was the last match that he was sponsored by Slim Jim? Because last time I checked, I remember Jey Uso being sponsored by one. I remember LA Knight this year being sponsored by one. Right? See, I call it for it is. I see things before anybody else sees it. Okay? I called this a year ago, and nobody wanted to believe it. They said, oh, you know, you gotta wait. You gotta fucking, you know, wait. No, because if you do that, guess what? It's never gonna happen. This is why LA Knight knows you gotta take it by the throat. And that's what LA Knight did when he joined WWE. He took a pay cut to join NXT. Okay? He took a pay cut from where he was working before in TNA, okay, to go to NXT, to go to WWE, because he knew that this was his last chance to show that he can hang in the big league. He knew that. He knew his window was coming by. I think he was 38 or 39 when he joined WWE and NXT. Okay, he knew the window was coming. He still athletically looks like he's in his 30s. I mean, he physically looks if I didn't know what LA Knight's actual age was, I would think he was like fucking 30. Okay, he looks like young for his age. Okay, and he's not injury prone either. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like, but we know he's fucking in his early 40s. Okay, even though I believe he looks 30, he fucking, we know he's fucking 40. And I don't know how long he can wrestle for, God forbid any injuries and unfortunate stuff happens. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So far he's had pretty good luck. But LA Knight has it right now, and this is the opportunity they need for him to win the title. But yet they keep fucking around with all this, we got to do this or we got to do that. And I don't even think there's this push for him to go to Raw, even though, I mean, let's face it, is there really a brand split anymore? I mean, is there really a brand split anymore? I mean, is there really? I mean, let's be serious right now. Is there really a brand split? Because, I mean, I've been seeing people go back and forth every goddamn week. CM Punk is a Raw wrestler, and yet he feuded with John Cena, who technically is a SmackDown wrestler, because the WWE Champion is a SmackDown title. Okay? So, are we really to take the brand split seriously? If you really want to move LA Knight to Raw, you might as well just do it anyways. Because is there really a brand split at this point? I don't know why people are saying there's a brand split, because I don't think there's a brand split anymore. I mean, you want to take a serious brand split, you should actually start doing it like you did in 2002 and 2003. Okay? That was a brand split. Not this, 1 week he's going to be here, 1 week he's going to be there, or, during this pay-per-view promotional, we're going to do it this way and that way. That's not how it works, okay? It's stupid. It's basically a wild card rule without it being a wild card rule, which was only a thing for about, less than a month? Point being is unfortunately, they're doing this whole LA Knight versus Braun Strowman. They're doing this Braun Strowman and LA Knight thing where he's just basically Braun Strowman of this era. And it's really unfortunate. And, I don't want the people to just stop. Like, I want you guys to continue cheering. Because I can tell you right now. Getting uninvested is only going to prove them right. So, it's the Vince McMahon bias philosophy. Vince McMahon was always, well, if they stopped cheering and losing interest, that means they didn't really like you. Or, you don't like the guy I'm pushing? Well, you cheering or booing, that's still engagement. Because that was the whole rationale Vince McMahon gave himself when Roman Reigns was getting booed out of the building every goddamn fucking week. Is that, he might not be cheering like the way I want him to be, but you booing is still creating engagement, so we're going to still keep pushing him. That is the broken backwards logic that WWE goes by. And even though Vince McMahon's not there anymore, and it's Triple H learned from Vince McMahon. Yes, Triple H has different bookings on how he books wrestlers, but he still learned that logic when it comes to crowd reaction from Vince. And I guarantee you he still thinks this. Okay? Because there's no way you can ignore what LA Knight's doing and still fucking think that this is any more or less than that. And oh, by the way, for the people that are upset about Jey Uso losing the title after 51 days, fuck off. Okay? Jey Uso, fucking 51 days. Do you realize that Randy Orton's first world title reign was 28 days? Do you realize that Randy Orton, one of the all-time greats, first world title reign was only 28 days, and you fucking guys that are fucking mad that Jey Uso fucking got a 51-day title run when Randy Orton only got 28? Like, fuck off. Like, come on. Like, how long was The Rock's first title run? Rock's first title run wasn't that long either because he lost the title to Mick Foley. He won it in November, and he lost it, I think, at the end of December or something like that, right? I think it may have been the first week of 99. I don't remember for sure, but it was one of those fucking days. That was the day when WCW essentially lost the war because they revealed the spoilers to Mick Foley winning the title. Okay, so Rock didn't even have it that long. Rock didn't have the title long the first time. So you gonna tell me that Jey Uso's first title run was better than The Rock's first title run? Edge's first title run was only 3 weeks. He lost the title right back to John Cena at Royal Rumble after winning it at New Year's Revolution. So you're going to tell me that Jey Uso was better than 3 Hall of Famers? One of them's a future? Oh, or actually 2, because technically The Rock isn't in the Hall of Fame either, actually. I'm sorry. So 2 future Hall of Famers and 1 Hall of Famer, okay? You're telling me that Jey Uso is better than them, okay? If anything, Jey Uso is lucky that he had it longer than them in his first title run. Okay, and I'm sure there's more. I mean, one of Cena's title runs was like 30 fucking seconds. Okay, Andre the Giant's title run, his lone WWE Championship run, was 5 minutes. He had the title for 5 minutes, and he surrendered it to Ted DiBiase, and that led to him being stripped of it and all that other crap that they did, and whatnot. So, like, why are we complaining about Jey Uso having a 51-day title run? Like, seriously? A 51-day title run. We're mad about a 51-day title run. LA Knight should be the one that should have been the world champion to begin with. But, oh yeah, Jey Uso with the goddamn fucking Yeet entrance. I'm being serious about it. Jey Uso, yes, he has a good entrance. People like the Yeet thing. But let's be real right now. Outside of the entrance, when are people invested in him? Watch his matches. Okay? People are not invested in his matches as much as LA Knight's matches. LA Knight got the crowd into WrestleMania Night 1. WrestleMania Night 1, up to that point, the crowd was not engaged. They were not interested. The crowd was dead for the first several matches. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu was the first match of WrestleMania of this year that got the crowd excited and cheering. LA Knight did that, okay? That shows you LA Knight's star power, that fans are invested in this guy, all right? Just like Braun Strowman. But yet they're still doing this bullshit of trying to hold him down, giving him mediocre fucking storylines, whatever. They're not, can you even really call them storylines at this point? I mean, like, Give this guy a fucking storyline, man. Like, fuck. Like a real one. Not these open challenge bullshit things that they were doing with the US title. Like actual fucking storylines. Okay? And him winning. Too. He needs to be built up. Should have already been there with the US title. Okay? It's ridiculous. This is what I gotta say. Hopefully LA Knight will win at some... I don't know what you do next, but hopefully we get somewhere with it. Would it be next year's Rumble or something? I don't really want to just see him win the world title, though. I want to see him win the WWE Championship. I want to see LA Knight win the WWE Championship. That's what I want to see. Because, I mean, like, so far, with the WWE Championship, okay, what have we had? We had Roman, who was on a fucking tirade championship run. We had Cody, okay, which was good. But then we have Cena, which is fucking overrated. But, and that's it, you know, and we're not seeing guys lose that title anytime soon. You know? I want to see LA Knight win that title. That's the ultimate prize. That means you have arrived. The world title is more of, okay, we see potential in you. Okay? That we eventually could make you the WWE Championship. If you can prove us we're right as being world champion. That's to me what the world title is right now. So yeah. I hope LA Knight finally gets it, but right now it's not looking good because they're just looking like that he's just like the Braun Strowman of this era now, which is unfortunate because I like Braun Strowman too. If you were a subscriber to this channel back in those days, because for anybody that doesn't know, I've been on YouTube since 2010, like in terms of making YouTube videos. So I've been on YouTube for a long time. So I was here making videos during that era when Braun Strowman was, getting cheered massively and getting fucked over by management. So I don't want to see that happen to LA Knight like it happened to Braun Strowman, because I'm sick and tired of getting invested in someone that should be getting the title that doesn't get the title. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm invested in this guy. I'm putting all my time into wanting this guy to be the guy. You know, supporting the guy, buying the merch, all this shit, and then not to get the guy that we want to be the champion and it not happen. And I don't like that. I don't fucking like that. You know? It's stupid as fuck. All because the people want their guy to be the champion over what the fans want. You know, it's so fucking stupid. And even without Vince McMahon there anymore, it seems like we're still getting it just in a different direction under Triple H. So that's what I got to say. I'm out. I'm the S Ultimate Goku. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out of it. Peace.